857 Music Podcast.
Oh my gosh. Guys, it happened again.
I can't. Wow.
We're here.
Wow.
Listeners, viewers, everyone tuning in right now. This is your host,
And
Kevin.
tuning out. And tuning out.
Tuning in.
They're tuning out.
We are your host, Kevin, a.k.a. Tur-bo.
Jason, a.k.a. y.k.c. Alvin, a.k.a. Algie.
Eric, a.k.a. the 23rd Stallion.
And we are 857 collectively.
Yes.
Excellent. And you
May
guys,
our powers combine. I'm sorry.
and you guys are listening to another edition of the 857 Music Podcast, where we discuss music, news, articles, stories, celebrities, trends, questions, and all that good stuff.
And drink.
Yes, and alcohol. We're going to actually start with a little bit of that before we get into today's topic, right? All right, before we get started, let's do this chartreuse.
No, correction. Shot of green chartreuse happiness. Okay.
Does that make a difference?
Very rare.
Chartreuse.
I don't want
cheers.
people going out there getting the yellow. It's
Herbal
disgusting.
liqueur.
We're going to have to do the cheers to the camera.
Cheers.
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 To your
Cheers.
camera there. There you go.
There we go.
Right on
Cheers.
top of the camera.
Yeah.
And
And three. Oh. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
All right. I'm not sure why we did that. No, I'm kidding.
Look at,
No.
look at
Oh,
Jay.
wow.
Look at Jay. Look at Jay, yeah.
you get this live.
I'm just going to call it. We're celebrating the 10th episode of the 857 Music Podcast.
Oh, I feel the
And
heat.
we're going to get into
Why did I do that?
the perceived, the realistic feminization of hip-hop culture. Is it a reality? Is it not? If it is, we're going to discuss who's responsible, what's responsible, how it happened. That chartreuse is really working.
How it
Yeah,
happened.
man. That's foul.
Awful.
Oh, man.
That's your drink.
Absolutely.
How it happened, I'll give my opinion on it.
Please
Right
do.
here.
I'm recovering.
All right. My opinion on the whole thing is I remember way back in the day when there was a song I heard on the radio, and my sister was listening to my older sister.
Everyday people, right?
Nope.
No?
Not even that. Nope. It was by LL Cool J, and it was called I Need Love. And I think that's when it started. To me, anyway. It could be wrong. I don't know if there was any other song after that, but I think for hip hop,
But that was a while ago. But what about hip hop today? Do you think it's
well,
That's where it
I
started.
think that's where it started.
where it
and,
started.
and my theory is history repeats itself. Gangster rap becomes popular, then it goes away. Conscious rap becomes popular, then it fades out. And now it's, I guess you could say, feminine.
But do you
rap.
do you think the way LL did it back then is the same as it's done now,
Worse.
or do you think it's
was
more?
worse.
It's more of
Yeah.
back in the day when LL did it. Do you think it's more of every
Well-
tough guy kind of has an emotional side,
That's a good question.
rather than nowadays every
Right.
fake thug is a bitch.
Well, it's a good question, actually.
You know?
It's a good question because I remember when that came out, a lot of hardcore hip hop was like against it. They were like, "Oh, this guy's fake," and then he came out with "Mama Said Knock You Out,"
Yeah.
and
Still feminine,
if you look
'cause
at
Mama told him.
if you look at
knock him out?
He ran home.
but
crying.
if you look at let's say for example Drake's situation, right,
I'm charged up.
where he's getting called out for being and then he comes
Being
out
LL Cool J.
with a rhyme, destroying the other person, and I see the similarities in that. I think
There's
that's where it started.
similarities. I think the difference is that Drake also sings.
Right, that
so
is true.
when
yeah.
he sings, he's very. You have to go to the emotional route.
Right.
If you're singing, you can't be hardcore.
Right.
You can't be like, "Oh, I'm tough when I'm singing."
Right.
He can only be tough
Like-
when he's
like
when
Ja
he's
Rule.
rapping.
That was
Exactly.
Tyrese's problem on.
So-
But I think the problem is that there's too much of a high frequency of bitchy songs. Too much
Yeah.
bitchiness. You can't be like, "Oh, I'm gonna something kill this nigga," blah blah blah, and you can't do that. You can't.
Well,
you
what-
can't do that.
You know, the thing is, I think it's just that we're not the demographic for that.
That's
and
true.
that
No,
his
that's true.
audience is
That's true.
female,
Yeah.
predominantly female,
That's
and
true.
that's the audience for this type of music.
Do you think he's the ringleader in making hip hop feminine?
Who, Drake?
Yeah. Or you think there's others?
You know,
There's a lot of all right.
Well, others. give me a list of some others because I don't want Drake bash.
According,
he is some, you know.
Well, there's a lot of emotions from Drake. That's why he's like the ringleader of that type of thing. But go ahead. If
and
you
it's
got
perpetuated because he's a singer also.
Yeah.
No, but the feminism of, or the feminization of hip hop has been a topic that's been discussed before. I remember when what is it, Lord Jamal of Brand Nubian, he was quoted actually attacking Kanye West because you know, when he was wearing all the leopard print jackets, and you had Lil Wayne wearing the leopard print coats. Not coats.
Listen,
the
this
pants.
This is what that's all about, though. This is that's about fashion.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say that that's the first time that's happened. Fashion in hip hop has gone and had its ups and downs based on the time period it was based in. So I'm not like in the 70s. They had hip hop guys. You know, that was the beginning of it, but they had weird clothes and weird, tight, horrible clothes, and it was like tights, like literal tights.
But that was the style back then, though.
But it would be considered feminine. Very feminine. Yeah. But that was normal. It was still normal back then because that's how music in general, as an art form, was like, and that's how they express themselves on stage, by wearing some weird stuff. And it's still the same now. It's just that the way fashion has come into the sense of hip hop is just not. That's not what we used to represent, really. I mean, we did in a sense of, like, you know, leather and stuff like that. Right. You know, Tough and Leather and then Adidas, and there was always fashion based in hip hop. But the way they wear it now, it's like more of an attention grab, I think.
Is it?
I think
so
is
it weird that like it's like almost like they can't wait to start wearing some tight gay shit? I mean, no offense to anyone who's gay, but like they like can't wait. Like you see like you know, Lil Wayne's a great example. Like he'll throw on some skinny jeans. Like they can't like wait. They can wear whatever they want. They're famous, but they can't wait to wear some tight.
Like when you wear women's
really feminine shit.
I'm all for hip hop being diverse, and you know, another thing that was, you know, that Lord Jamal was saying also is like, you know, it's like it's okay for diversity to, you know, to infect hip hop or whatever like that, but there's a point where it gets too much. And as far as the clothes, it's like if you're gonna wear different clothes, yeah, that's fine. You know, you have your own style. I don't really want to diss anybody because of what kind of clothes they wear, but when you wear women's clothing,
that's what Joe, like I'm not gonna front myself. You saw my Xbox 360 avatar with the tight blue suit, but that's still it's stylish. It's not
you ain't wearing
feminine.
That. You ain't wearing
I
that.
will bust it out.
You won't be on stage with
that. I swear I will. I'll kill that shit.
When you had Lil Wayne wearing the leopard print pants,
that's stylish.
Listen, you could wear. Listen, you can wear what you want. I'm not going to say what you can and cannot wear. It could be tight if you want it to be tight. It could be baggy if you want it to be baggy, whatever makes you comfortable. But when you wear leopard skin pants that you saw on a woman,
that's
they were on a woman.
Unless you're gay.
If you go,
unless they're a gay rapper.
You can rock it. If
hey,
you're gay, then rock it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Rock it.
But it's a woman's attire.
You
don't walk into the women's department to buy your clothes.
If you do that, you got to come out. You got to come out the closet.
You can get a feminine. You can get a feminine type garb.
So you can't be straight and put that.
From
You
the
guys
male
can't do
section.
it. It's like
I think we should do that for
can't be that comfortable.
another podcast idea. Should be, what rapper do you think is gay?
No, we don't want. No.
Hey, actually,
no. I would
that's
love
actually
to do
pretty
that.
good. I like
Without
that.
facts, you can't.
What do you guys
speculate?
It's just a speculation.
It's a what if.
It's a what if. It's a what if.
It's
we can do that now. So
I got two.
Eric Sermon.
Two?
Eric Sermon, really?
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Oh,
Lil Wayne.
Dr. Dre. Lil Wayne.
Oh.
Lil Wayne.
No, I'm just saying. No, that's not me. That's what's online. I'm not. That's not me saying
P.
that.
Diddy all day.
Diddy?
Yeah.
Yes,
Diddy all day.
But that's not me
Diddy
saying
was
that.
seen. He was wearing the leather kilt, and so is Kanye wearing the leather kilt. You know, that's it's not as bad as some of the women clothing that some people.
I'm not saying those artists are gay, by the way.
I'm not.
I'm just saying that the internet has.
I'm not saying it either,
something.
but
you know what the funny thing is? As feminine as Drake's shit is, I wouldn't say that he's gay.
No,
I wouldn't say he's gay in the
he
slightest.
just cries a lot.
Yeah, he's bitches a lot. He just cries. He cries into some pussy.
Yeah.
That's about it. But I mean, like, but I think
I don't know who's this girl. Nah. Nah, I heard. I know he likes really thick chicks.
But I think,
You know,
I definitely think hip hop has been feminized a little bit. Even the beefs nowadays is like, you know, the whole thing with Meek Mill.
listen, it's a
Drake.
social networking era. Like this is not face-to-face anything.
No. And I think that's what contributed to hip hop being a little bit feminine. And I think
that's
what you were saying before. What?
That's what the internet is, though. It's faceless people who can say anything they want without any consequences. So they think they could do that anyway.
They hide behind their computer screens.
Exactly.
And
so that that feminizes men, actually. Just sitting
interaction.
Rather than interacting and, like, beefs with dudes. Beefs, it's like, all right, we got a beef. Let's go handle this shit.
Like, you didn't tweet my album. Yeah.
So I
got something to say about you.
What?
Twitter.
Fuck this. I hate you.
Twitter fingers.
Yeah, but who even knows if they're typing it?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even know.
It's not real beefs. It's fucking corny.
It is.
Not that I'm promoting. No, we gotta fuck the guy up. You know, blah blah blah.
No, that was the worst thing about beef.
Yeah,
when something happens.
When someone gets shot and stuff like that. I personally think if like people have beefs, they should just go in the fucking octagon and have a sloppy ass fight. Because it'd be a horrible fight.
You're not gonna see something like that. It's like it just seems like when
it's always been about songs. It's always been about the songs and retaliations, and that's part of upping your game. That's what it was about. It's not about, I could type this better than you. I'm going to do this. No.
It's about your credibility.
Not about that. But see, listen, about the fashion in hip-hop. So, like, it wasn't really it wasn't a big thing until Biggie and Jay. I mean, they really did associate a lot of fashion. And, it was about all that Italian. Like, they would name all the fashion people throughout all the songs.
They would name it, but they never dressed in a way that was
no,
just
but
like,
they glorified Versace and Gucci.
That's what starts from. I think it starts from the Materialism.
Being so loud.
Sorry, I didn't know the peak. I didn't even know I was that. Hold up. Gucci. There we go.
But they started publicizing all that and making it seem cool, and everyone grew up in that generation thinks that that's what it's all about, and that's where we're at now. All the people are just.
Wait a minute. What? Was shit. I forgot his name. What was the rapper? What was the name of the rapper that had the tattoo on his face?
Gucci.
That was
Gucci
Gucci.
Man.
That wasn't.
That's why I said it. That's why I said it.
Oh, that's right.
Gucci.
Yeah, he had the tattoo of the ice cream.
Yeah,
the 3 scoops ice cream on his face, right? With the cone.
Yeah.
Some people you just don't give money.
That is just.
You don't need much to do that.
It doesn't take a lot of money for the ice cream cone on your face tattoo. It doesn't happen.
Burr.
But like, sign this, please.
But that's fashion too, right? That's fashionable. Had tattoos on your face is fashionable.
All right, so Jay, what you're saying is that this current feminization of hip hop started from rappers talking about materialistic stuff.
Yeah, it's all given so many.
It's an evolution, or actually, it's a devolution or a de-evolution.
Devolution.
I like the word. I like the word devolution. But the de-evolution or whatever of of the materialists.
It's the rise of the brands. That's all it is. That's what Jordan's shoes did. That's what happened with that.
Don't compare stuff to feminine, man. Come on. Stop.
I said brand. I said glorifying brands.
Don't talk about Jordan.
Glorifying brands started with the 23 shoes. So it went from there, and people, they don't pay rent to get those. Like, it's crazy. They'll let their baby starve to get Jordans.
But
like
Yeezys though.
And the same thing with that. But I'm saying it built up to that. And like when I started hearing songs about wave your Gucci rag in the air and all this stuff, I'm like, with dudes. With dudes. I'm not waving a Gucci rag in the air. I'm not spending $900 on a rag to wave in the air. I don't care. It's all about like just perpetrating the fraud. Like I get so much money I can do this. It's just like that's why it's feminization though, because women do this by buying bags and buying stuff to say I'm at this status and you can't be me and you want to be me and this stuff, and guys are doing that now, and I think that's really bad.
That's awful. And that's actually a good point too. It's like you see it's feminization also because it's like what women do.
We don't care about this stuff, man.
On social, women are more they use social media more than men do. They're on it more hours.
I've seen chicks rock like a $14 dress like to a T. Like they could buy some cheap ass shit, and it all depends on how you rock it. You don't have to buy
but that's not the people doing that.
No,
like the people who are doing it want to wear everything matching, and everything's got to be $800. This and that and that, and it doesn't matter what it looks or how it looks. It could be ugly as hell.
How the fuck did guys start doing that? That's so fucking
because
terrible.
of Instagram.
It's social media.
It's about Instagram.
Right.
I still don't have an Instagram. I don't have a reason to have one.
All it is Instagram flexing all day, and it's like I got this.
I got this. I got that.
This is my chick. This is my face. This is this and this. I got to put it online. I got to make you want
That's good
this.
for artwork.
That's what
it has
artwork
nothing to do.
to.
It has nothing to do with artwork.
Well, I see it marketed as.
Oh yeah, no, you can. Yeah,
good.
that's what the essence of it is for photography and all this stuff. But it's not about selfies and this is you're a
Right.
dude. You're
Yeah,
a dude.
people-
Stop it.
It's
People abuse
it's
it,
an
man.
insecure, self-absorbed society. It's
Chicks
really
get their
bad.
hair done. They get their makeup done. Guys now get makeup done.
Now they get
their
makeup
They get
hair
their
done.
They got the
eyebrows, they get the
manicures, the
manicure,
pedicures.
I mean,
It's
there's
like,
nothing wrong. I mean, if
Hey,
you
there's
want to take
nothing
care of
wrong with
yourself,
the manicure.
no, wait, if you do it, you do it. It's just like, but
if
it's
you take
like,
care of yourself,
that
do
one
it.
time
But
we
don't
Can't
go
go
like
out
this.
looking all
Hey.
fucked up.
That one
Fucked
time we
up
went
ass
to the
toes.
mall. One time we went to the mall and that chick
Oh, with the
showed
nail
us the
thing?
nail thing. That shit was shiny as
Yeah.
fuck. I'm like,
That was
yo, my pinky is crazy right now.
that was dope. But you know what? I didn't take
Yeah.
a picture of my pinky and put it online.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
Yeah,
Keep
that's
that
like-
shit to
like,
myself.
all right.
That's true.
not
Keep
bad.
that shit to myself.
Nah. You
All
don't
right,
do
so you guys are agreeing that the feminization of hip hop had to do a little bit with perpetuated by social media.
Oh, definitely.
Social media is probably the biggest criminal.
And the fact that women buy more music than anybody, they're the biggest,
Yeah.
buyers.
Yeah,
they
I
have the
mean-
most disposable income. So I think
That
that's
don't mean we
just-
gotta act like them.
that's
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 true.
probably why a lot of rappers are
So do you think sex?
infusing their fashion with feminine styles.
They have bronies. They like My Little Pony.
Oh my god.
Guys,
Do you think now
it's
since
feminization.
since
bronies.
You never heard of that?
I thought he said like I thought he was talking about-
Bronies.
I don't know what the fuck that is, dude.
But the grown
Jabronis?
ass bronies.
Jabronis.
No.
No.
Bronies are grown ass men who have a fascination with My Little Pony.
Yeah. It's a real thing.
They have conventions. I swear to God, this is a huge.
I got a whole
this is
closet
huge.
full. Yeah, bullshit.
I saw actually. I watched the
Oh my
doc.
god.
Did you know about
No, I
this?
didn't know.
Nah, it's a real
Okay.
thing, though.
This
I watched the
first time.
documentary on Netflix. This was This was actually really interesting, man.
Oh my
It was
God.
crazy. There was this big diesel biker guy
Mm-hmm.
fixing his motorcycle, and he's like, "Yeah, I have a confession to make. I'm 58 years old, and I'm in this biker gang, and I'm a brony."
Now,
And then you look at his garage, and there was like a shelf of like different My Little Ponies and shit, man. Yo, I was like, wow.
That's awful.
Wow.
Is that from like Beanie Babies or something? Like
Wow.
how did that come to be?
And then there was like this big
Not even like
convention.
Thundercats or Transformers.
Yo, but they went to this My Little Pony convention, right?
Voltron.
And
Oh
they
my
followed
God.
the voice actress, one of the voice actresses
I
for My Little
apologize to
Pony.
the viewers out there.
I'm sorry.
The
No,
podcast is taking
for-
a dive.
well, for anybody out there who doesn't know, this is mind blowing because when I figured this out,
I
I was
honestly want to hear more because this is.
No,
I don't.
like, it's
understand
fascinating and it's insane to watch it
I'm
because you're just like,
shocked.
wow, how is this
Does
grown
any-
man?
Does anyone else feel the chartreuse?
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
it's
feeling
gonna
hot.
be.
Okay.
I'm good.
Anyone want more?
That's crazy.
Nope.
No,
All right,
no,
all right,
no.
I just never know.
That's
I
absolutely.
sobered
crazy.
up after that, brony.
But yeah, the
But
bronies.
but
Seriously.
wow.
Sorry, but yeah.
feminization bronies. No, it kind of makes sense.
No, it definitely
makes
is
sense.
related.
It's related. It's
very
related.
Well,
It's just like
It's a show made for teenage
But
girls.
the thing is, everything is changing though.
Right.
When I was working,
Yeah.
some girls came in and they were talking to each other. They were getting drunk and they were like, We're gonna actually talk to some guys tonight because guys don't approach girls anymore.
No. It's true.
Guys
I
are now
agree,
women.
yeah.
They're
That's
now
true.
they're now the women. So
That is
now I'm
true.
thinking, do
Yeah.
you think sex is gonna change? Are dudes gonna tuck their shits back and chicks
One-
gonna get dildos?
you mean like the positions of the guys just gonna lay on their backs.
Guys
Right.
gonna lay on
like
their
chicks
backs.
are gonna be on the top all the time. That they're like
No, it
Yeah,
really
it's
is. It's shock. They get shocked.
The
when
chicks
you,
will
when
be
you
smacking
talk.
the dudes around and shit.
I know
every
we
time
should
you
go
talk
ask.
to a girl.
Nah,
Damn! He about to put someone on blast.
I put nobody on blast.
Damn.
No, women today, they're shocked when a guy talks to them.
Oh shit! Some
That's
guys
true.
just
I'm like, wow.
approached me. Oh my god!
And it was just wow, instantly. Just
And I
invested.
do think that that's related to the feminization. of
It's
hip-hop,
all.
you
It's
know,
all
because
related.
But it
hip-hop,
has to do
hip-hop
with
is
age, too.
worldwide.
It has to do with the age too. Like
They asked
You
the
know,
guys
older
to
women
open
aren't
up
into
though.
that
They
shit.
asked for it. Now they don't want it. They don't know what they want.
No, these guys are too sensitive. They
I
open
think
up a
there's
little bit too much.
There's opening up,
Right.
and then there's just like turning into a woman.
You know,
Right,
it's
right.
just
Not
like
turning into a woman.
yeah.
I'm
it's
saying
like
these women
I
ask
have
for
so much to
you
tell
could be a guy who's in touch with his emotions, but like
Don't be a bitch.
a lot of guys should be they should want to play the male gender role.
But you don't want to. You want to have mom issues.
Ah.
And I've read that also. They said part of the feminization of
they ain't got no
hip hop
daddy.
culture has to do with the fact that a lot of rappers never had a positive
got
male
no
role
daddy.
model or a father figure in
Fathers
the
out
family.
there need to get their shit straight because these dudes is turning into women.
Yeah, seriously, if you don't want to
Real.
take care of the
They're big
kid
dads.
or you don't want to have a kid, pull out.
Pull out.
You don't have to like.
Pull out a bus on the face. Wait, is that?
Wow.
Is that too,
Well, we're not editing this, so it's like
You just took it to another fucking.
it's like
You just,
he's got a point there.
It's a short
It's like
truce.
the guy said
anything.
bust
It's like
on the face.
if you don't want to use a condom, at the very least, pull out. You know, at the
Yeah,
very
yeah.
least, if you don't want to have a kid.
You think these
Yeah.
dumb motherfuckers know how to pull out?
Well, they should. I hope this
don't.
podcast is going to be educational.
They don't
for these
know.
guys.
Team
This
They
is
go,
First
oh
retarded.
shit, this is amazing,
Analyze.
baby,
team pull out
baby.
all
Team
day.
pull out.
Team pull out. all
Because
day.
if you're gonna have like, if you're gonna eventually produce a
I like
Sorry,
I like the
man.
direction of
Delay.
the podcast.
This
It's
is
just,
like all over the
it's
place.
just-
It's going from bronies to pulling out.
no, you
Busting
leave,
on
you leave
faces.
you desert your family, you leave your kids, so he turns into a feminized rapper who's wearing
Right.
skinny jeans and leopard
Right.
print stuff.
And
All right, let's talk about the skirts that they wear. Now, what is the why?
The leather kilts?
Who are the skirts?
What's the difference between
Puff
a
and
kilt and a
Kanye.
skirt, though? Like, really?
You have
I
to-
honestly don't
you
know.
have
A
to
skirt-
ask the Irish. The Irish, it originated in Ireland,
A
right?
skirt is for women.
The kilts
Really?
a
But
guy
a
can
kilt.
wear.
So if a guy wears a skirt, then
He's a girl.
all right.
It's,
But a kilt is man.
Now they had. I mean, like I said, this is an attention grab. I don't care what anyone says. It's an attention grab because ASAP Rocky had on a skirt and Kanye West had on a skirt.
Wow.
You can't wear a leather kilt. It's not a kilt. If it's not a kilt, it's a skirt.
Yeah, there's no plaid or
Like-
anything.
Yeah,
It's just
like-
black.
it's gotta be the kilt.
You have
like-
to have like an accordion or something if you're gonna wear
An
a kilt.
accordion. Wait,
Accordion?
Bagpipes, man.
Where did the
Bagpipes,
accordion
right?
come from?
No,
We're not Irish.
He meant
Bagpipes.
bagpipes,
And
but he
the
said accordion.
bagpipes. So can you wear
No,
an
you have to
accordion?
be
And
Irish.
No.
Where did the accordion come from?
No one's ever wore a kilt and accordion.
No.
No.
That's never happened before.
No.
I've heard
I'm
of
gonna look that up.
bagpipes
Okay.
and
You wear polka
kilt.
dots and an accordion.
Bagpipes, accordion.
Right.
Bagpipes,
Polka
Right.
dots and
Yeah.
accordion.
You wear polka dots and an
All
accordion.
right, bagpipes.
and then,
I can see that.
and get
yeah.
tomatoes thrown at your ass.
All right.
Yes. But listen, now. So Puff wore a kilt.
My apologies
right?
again.
Yes,
He
like a
actually
fur
wore-
coat. He wore fur
He wore a
coats.
fur coat and kilt, but he's not Irish, so it doesn't look right. It's not paying homage to your heritage
Yeah.
if you're just wearing a kilt. Like that's not don't
going
do
too
that.
far.
That's like a pale Irish dude in a daishiki.
That's like blackface. It's like blackface.
South
That's like-
Africa.
yeah.
South Africa, they do that shit.
No, it's
Yeah, I've
true.
seen it.
It's good to be,
Damn, my man
diverse
warm right now.
and try something different. But it's just like, that's stretching.
Nah,
it
that's
too
just
far.
asking for attention.
That's
I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna post
yeah.
this. Listen, they do it in NBA all the time. They put on these
All
weird,
the time.
weird clothes just to get
Westbrook.
attention.
Westbrook all day.
Yes,
Harden
every day.
all day.
Right.
Yeah.
And your boy too from Thunder.
Oh, Durant?
Yeah, they all wear the
Yeah,
same thing.
Westbrook be wearing some weird shit.
Did Rodman start that shit?
Rodman started
Well,
something. I don't
yeah.
know what the fuck that
Because I
was.
remember,
sure he
they-
started.
I
He
remember
started wearing
watching.
dresses.
Yeah,
I remember watching something on TV where they showed Rodman, like before, like when he got in the game, like they showed tattoos on basketball players.
Yeah.
It was like unheard
Nah,
of.
he
You
started-
never, you never really saw it.
No, he started fucking white chicks
But-
and doing coke.
Yeah, but
That's what happened.
the
Fucks
motherfucker
up
wears
everybody, man.
The motherfucker started wearing dresses and shit.
That's
though.
what
Remember
happens,
that? That shit was
man. You start
crazy.
doing-
Carmen
you
Electra.
start
That
doing
shit was
coke.
crazy.
And he got more famous, and he got more
Madonna.
chicks.
Yeah, but and then they showed
and
then they
he
showed
turned
after him.
blackface.
Then he disappeared. He didn't go. He was burnt.
No,
He was
his
a
face
blackface.
with blackface.
He
Like
was
he
And his
looked- it
lips
looked like
turned
makeup.
white or something,
Yeah,
or
no,
red? or-
his lips was still big and red and pink.
Damn.
This sounds terrible. I apologize.
This is
But no,
horrible.
like his face, it looks like someone painted his
Oh,
face.
Mr. Popo.
This is
Oh,
horrible.
Dragon Ball Z,
Dragon
Mr.
Ball?
Popo.
He look like that guy.
I read about that shit.
That's racist.
Oh, man.
The Japanese.
That's
thought it
y'all's
was-
show. It's not my show. That's your show.
I used to like.
I forgot his real name too.
Mr.
Mr.
Popo?
Popo. Yeah,
really?
that wasn't his name. They changed it for the
Bullshit.
American audience.
What was
that
it?
wasn't his real name. They changed it for the American. I read it in Kotaku.
What was it? Tyrone?
I can't remember.
Toby.
No, it was real bad. No, it was
It
bad.
was a bit. Oh,
It was a-
God.
it was-
I'm gonna look
it was
up. That's
offensive?
horrible.
super rated.
I almost wanna
It
look
was
up
very,
now.
very offensive. Very.
Was it offensive as like
Yeah.
Oil Man from Mega Man 9
Um,
that they took out? Like that. Tap dancing, that was horrible.
By the
All
way,
right.
if anybody out there doesn't know, Oil Man.
Oh, what you know about oil?
If you're familiar with
Was-
Mega Man video
yeah.
games,
Yeah.
all the
Look-
boss characters have man at the end. And
Yeah.
One time, was it Mega Man 9, I think? Oil
Mega Man 9.
Nah.
Yes.
was
Wasn't
gonna be,
Mega Man
It wasn't
9.
Mega Man
No?
9.
No, it was
Oh.
Mega Man
Powered Up.
Yeah.
And he was
Oh,
gonna
yes,
be a
yes,
boss.
yes.
Powered up or is it charged up?
No, it
No,
was
no,
powered up.
man. Look it up. You can Wikipedia it.
That wasn't prejudice. He
That
was just
shit
tap dancing to entertain you.
Fucking racist. as hell.
That is so racist. That is so racist.
And you know that was
Oil
changed
man.
for American audiences.
Oh,
They're like, no,
absolutely.
we can't have this.
Oh, you're talking about the purple guy.
Japanese changing shit.
Oh, he was black in Japan, right?
And they
Telling
made
you,
him
man.
and they made him,
I'm telling you, man, video game podcast is endless.
We'll do it later. We'll
It's
talk about it later.
endless. It's endless. I'm telling you, man, it's endless.
We might have
What
to
you talking
do
about? I
a.
don't know nothing about games.
We'll do a podcast, half music, and then change it to video games. There we go.
All right, so about games.
Yeah.
No, but listen, back on topic.
All right.
Now, this is not homophobic. None of this is homophobic.
No offense
I'm
to
not.
anyone out
This is
there.
not from that
Gay
viewpoint.
basher.
I'm
We have
sorry.
nothing to do.
We have
with-
tons of gay friends. Don't worry about it.
Listen, all this fashion stuff has nothing to do with them being gay. It's just
No.
this is what we're telling you.
Just don't wear women's clothes.
It's that's
nothing
what it
wrong
is.
with that.
And don't be so like. Listen, music, hip hop, the way it began was not like this. It wasn't like this as a culture. It wasn't like this.
Yeah.
It was more manly.
Mm-hmm.
It was more
Stories. Poor
Bravado.
Black America.
Be a man.
more bravado.
Just be a man.
It was about being
Police
that. It
brutality.
was about
talking
boasting.
shit. Talking shit. Lyrics.
Seeing in the Black
beats,
America.
So they had gangster rap.
Mm-hmm.
They had party rap.
Conscious rap.
They had conscious rap.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have
They said something.
anything else like that.
Yeah.
They didn't have anything else. I mean, you can have diversification of it. Like you can have a lot of stuff going on, but it's just too much. And there's nothing. There is no like. It's about emotion, and there's no anger. No one's mad anymore.
That's the thing too.
Like
it's
I
a
got
good
into
thing.
hip hop to get.
No, well,
That's the problem.
get
No,
rid
there's
of
no
anger.
edge. Like
No,
a lot of the
yeah.
artists don't have an edge to them. When we were when I saw the Kevin Hart thing, what's called Kevin Hart stand up that was at Long Beach a few weeks ago. He was doing a bit about his son. He's like, my son doesn't have an edge. He's like, I wish my son has an edge. He's like, I have an edge, and he's like. And that translates to feminization of hip-hop culture. It's like these artists don't have an edge.
Next door, I don't want to put him on blast
Well-
because he's our neighbor. But like he was talking about his son. His son's just not like into sports or anything. He's just like kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Just goes about his, like and our neighbor. He's just like old school.
Yeah.
He's into sports. He's into everything, and he's just like
He's
a
a
dude.
guy.
He's a dude.
He's
He's a dude.
He's a real man. He's like he's a
And all
dude.
these kids are just like Instagram. Let me look at these
Too
girls.
sensitive. Too,
You know what's
it's
funny?
like,
I realize that a lot of people that have kids, their offspring are never like themselves. They really-
nowadays, no. It's
I
like
noticed that though.
No,
Like,
they're not gonna grow up the same way.
kids are not
it's
like
always
their
different.
parents.
It's
You're,
always
you're
gonna be
always going to
different.
rebel against your parents, so you're going to be different than your parents,
Yeah, but they didn't have
and then
internet.
vice versa.
that's
They didn't have
yeah.
internet.
It's
Yeah,
like
they had to go
that's-
outside sometimes.
It's better.
Yeah, but
it's better
it
off.
happens though.
Better off without the internet.
It happens.
In some
In some
aspects,
regards,
Growing,
yeah.
and growing up, like you gotta.
It's too
learn,
ingrained in our
You
society.
gotta learn like
and-
human interaction.
Yeah.
Like talking to people, making
That-
friends, and
yes.
shit like that. Especially with women.
That I agree with.
Women, it's clutch because
That I
stay
agree
away
with.
from a computer. Don't talk to a woman on the computer
Right.
when you're growing up. You have to just
Right.
talk to them in your classes.
It's all about dating sites. What are you talking about? You don't call no more. If I go out, then it's to
That's
just check
true.
on the dating site while I'm out.
You got. Well, the thing is, people from our generation could do both now because we know how to utilize both.
Yeah, but people be going on the dance floor.
On the dance floor,
swiping,
on there.
swiping right.
That's why
Yo!
on the dance floor.
Oh,
The
shit.
cell
that
phone
shit?
stuff.
Hold on.
And just maybe you might run into somebody
Imagine that.
who's on the floor with you.
Get
Imagine
away.
that shit.
Get away from me, bitch. I just got a match.
Yeah, right.
Run to the bathroom.
Meet
That's
me
what's crazy.
outside.
Yeah,
Fucking
No, it's 100% true.
That's
It's
crazy.
true.
What shit is that?
It's
Yo,
true.
Oh, man.
that shit is crazy. We're like, oh
But-
shit, I got a match.
Is there any hope because of the feminization of hip hop culture and its spread into social media, well, no, and everything else? Is there hope for hip hop?
For
Is
hip hop,
this going to be a trend that fades away, or is this
no.
here to stay?
there's always hope for hip hop.
It's gonna be here to stay, but you're just gonna have to look for you gotta look elsewhere.
My prediction is it's gonna go
That's
away.
a sad
like
prediction.
No, like everything.
There's
I'm,
gonna
I'm
be a part.
depressed now.
There's gonna be an area for this and an area for the other stuff.
The thing is there's it's always a constant, and then something significant happens, and then shit changes. And then
Listen, it's always
constant
grass is greener.
changes.
It's always grass is greener on the other side. When everything was tight, everybody rebelled and got baggy clothes. When everything was baggy, everybody rebelled and got tight clothes. It's
Right.
gonna go back and forth. Everyone's not gonna keep rocking this.
History
this
repeats
stuff.
itself. Like I said before,
tight pants is tough to move in. Like, I just
history-
don't understand the sense.
history
The
repeats
ball-
itself
The
though.
balls hurt.
I don't know
tight
nothing about.
pants.
That's
I
what
don't
they
know
call
nothing about
nut-
wearing the tight pants.
Nut huggers, man.
I ain't gonna
Nut
front.
huggers.
I bought some jeans. I'm not even gonna front. I bought some ill jeans. Them shit shrunk.
Yeah,
And
That happened to me,
shrunk.
too.
My nuts were hurting.
that happened to me too, man.
I
And I'm
tried.
like, fuck.
Listen, I
Yo.
didn't want to get left behind, and I tried some skinny jeans on.
You
I
did?
said maybe these aren't so bad.
Nah.
I tried them on, and I was like, damn, I'm
Yeah.
skinny.
Nah, yo,
I
Jay,
was like, my
I
legs
had
are
a-
way
you
too
and skinny jeans.
I had
Oh.
a, I had a
probably the
fucking.
most disturbing thing I've heard.
I remember.
in a long
I did not
time.
buy them.
I hope not.
I had
Nah.
something similar that happened to you, actually. I remember one time I bought a pair of jeans. Nice jeans. I was like, oh, nice. Real good. I fucking washed them, put them back on.
Tight
Them
as
shits
fuck.
were mad tight.
I don't like that.
I put my phone in my pocket, and it took me 20 minutes
and you
to
see
get
the
that
outline.
shit out.
You see
Yep.
the outline of that.
I was
fucking
like, yo,
phone.
it took me mad long.
They're
I
not
couldn't even sit down.
practical. Like they're just.
It
not
was just
practical for
uncomfortable,
anything.
man.
Nah, but the
Just
ladies see the
uncomfortable.
outline, and it's
Women
like,
wear skinny
But
jeans.
you know
they
what?
have a purse. They put things in their purse. It's
However,
like-
though, I will give it to women though
Straight
for
men
wearing
start
them
doing that,
tight,
God help us.
tight pants. Yes.
Yeah, keep
Uh-huh.
wearing,
They
keep wearing
keep
the
rocking
tight
them
pants.
tight pants. Yeah.
Keep wearing
Depending
the
on
tight
who you
I
pants.
give
are.
them credit though.
Yes,
That's- I don't
thank
know,
you
yeah.
for clarifying, Jay.
I give them
Depending on who you are,
Not
thank
everybody
you for
can rock
wearing
them.
the tight pants.
Yes.
But if you got
Yes.
like
I appreciate
the
that.
Wonder Bread hanging over the line and you're like getting the circulation
mean the-
cut off,
The muffin top.
the muffin top, please
Yeah.
get some baggy jeans until you work on that muffin top. But the ones who got the nice tight bodies with the nice tight
Listen,
jeans,
though.
But yeah,
Even females in the hip hop genre,
Uh-huh.
even they are more manly than most of the men out right now.
yeah.
Oh, that was a
And
point.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's true. Yeah,
They
Nicki Minaj is like
She's
more
more of a
masculine
dude.
than a lot of these dudes. It's like, jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with
They
that.
spit harder than some of the dudes.
Seriously.
And it's crazy. And
So,
it's always been that way. I
I'm
mean,
for more, the introduction of more female rappers. If this is the way male rappers are going to be, wearing these skinny jeans and
Could you
trying to sell
imagine?
his fashion,
could you imagine DMX like this?
no.
What's
Could
the
you
problem?
imagine?
Yo, let me get those skinny jeans.
50 Cent.
Besides
Eminem,
being
no.
on all the coke, could you imagine him being in a dress with all the coke?
If he wore a dress, that would be a lot of coke.
Right.
But he had to be due to put that stuff on. That's crazy.
That's disturbing.
Yeah,
thought.
you can't
DMX
imagine
in a
that.
dress.
you guys,
Who the fuck put me in this?
you guys ready for the
How did
email?
this happen?
Email, yeah. Let's go with the email question.
But,
Yeah,
yeah.
how did this happen?
Let's
Why am I
go.
on a dress?
How did this happen to me? I know I'm in jail, but what's this?
First, I impersonated a cop by putting on a police outfit. Now I'm wearing a dress. Let me stop. Go ahead. It's like,
They always put the black man in a dress. I'm talking Hollywood, too. Always.
This podcast
Always do it.
has went
All right,
so many wrong levels. It's like
Nothing
worse.
comes to mind, but
Wesley Snipes in the
this
dress?
this is actually an appropriate email
It's an appropriate email.
for the topic. I actually this
handpicked
comes
for the
from
topic. All right.
Jimmy James wants to know.
Jimmy James.
He wants to know what's gay. What's the gayest lyric you've ever heard in hip hop?
I got one.
I got one too.
I got
Damn.
one. It's
Probably
all
the
the
same one. It's
It
Maybe
probably
it's
is the
that
same
It's
one.
the Biggie line.
Yeah,
It is the
Damn,
biggie
man.
line.
It's
Yeah,
the biggest one.
Oh,
All right.
Suck it. Daddy dick.
Yeah.
daddy dick.
That was it, huh?
Worst line.
That
So you
is-
look
Yeah,
so good,
yeah.
I'll suck on your daddy. Yeah,
That is-
it's like,
Yeah, that is
Remember,
the gayest
remember
line.
when what's his face?
I can't think of anything that rivals
Big
that.
Daddy Kane. Remember, he's like, "Oh, have mercy, I'll kiss your father." There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine.
Right,
But he
right.
went a step
Took it
over
another.
here and said, "I'll blow your dad because you look so hot." That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
That's a hot chick.
That means that she's so hot you'll turn gay.
Yeah, it's like, I'll blow the shit.
I'll turn gay because
That's
you're
the
so
line,
hot.
though. That's the
DMX,
line.
DMX, said
DMX had some.
He had some shit.
Yeah, some.
DMX did
He
have
has some
some.
jail.
I
he has some
can't
jail
think
talk.
of
Here's
it.
some jail talk too.
Yes,
Yeah.
jail
I don't
talk.
remember the exact lines.
Slick Rick has
Was that the
some.
one when he said, "Hold my dick" or some shit like that?
Niggas hold my dick.
Well, I'm pissing or the
No,
other
have
one's
one,
sucking.
one guy hold
one
his
guy
dick
hold
while
it.
the other guy's sucking. Yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes,
that
yes,
lyric.
yes.
Oh,
That's
a gay lyric.
That's,
Yeah, that's a
easy-
gay lyric, yeah.
That's prison
That's,
talk. And there was
that's prison.
Craig Mack when he was like, "Well, hold my dick too lazy. Hold it for me." Or something.
yeah,
But he
yeah,
could've been-
yeah.
You want someone to hold your dick?
You want,
That's
you want a
fucking-
guy to hold your
Yeah,
dick?
you
it's
want a
gay.
guy to hold your
It's
dick.
gay. Yeah, it's
Wow.
gay if you want a
Come on,
guy to
man.
hold your dick.
He could have been talking about a woman.
Wait, he didn't clarify.
Yeah.
To his defense,
He didn't
did
clarify.
not clarify.
Yeah,
He could have meant a woman.
He's the only one who has some shred of a case.
Hopefully.
He's the only
What
one who's got
about-
some shred of a case. That's
Yeah.
it.
What about? This isn't gay though, but it's a bad lyric.
Mm.
Young, fresh, and green, with
Ah.
no hair in between. Know what I mean?
That's
now that was
That's
very
a
creepy.
that's a creep line.
That's a pedophile
that's a
line.
pedophile.
That's it.
and that shouldn't have came out.
That's a
Puff should have
Jared
never
from
brought that out.
Subway's.
That Jared from Subway.
Freaking
Jared
Yo.
from
that's
Subway.
on that level.
Terrible.
Jared from somebody. Yeah, that's,
Creep
that's
rap.
perfect. That would have been. That's a good parody right there.
Correct.
Do that.
Oh man,
Just throw that lyric and.
But then you got.
Have a picture of Jared.
he'll be in jail a long time. There'll be a lot of time.
The
for
6
Jared.
inch.
God.
Did you go to Subway recently? They changed the 6 inch to the 6-year-old. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn.
And then you got.
Shots fired.
Wow.
Oh man.
Book,
Oh
book.
man.
Right, Jack? Book.
Damn.
Stop.
Damn.
All right.
Ouch.
All
Then you
right.
got-
Ouch.
And then you got Young Thug saying like my boo or hubby or whatever to his dude. That's not good.
Oh, he called his dude his
Yeah,
hubby.
it's not
Oh
good.
my god.
That's not good.
But is he gay?
Maybe.
If he's gay, then all right. Then it makes sense
All right,
to
quick
say
question.
something like that.
Even though it's off
Maybe.
topic, it's kind
I
of
don't
on
know.
topic and off topic. What percentage of the rappers out now do you think is gay? Closet gay?
Nah, I'd say 10.
10?
I'd say 10.
I'd say between 15 and 25%.
Could be 30,
Damn.
but I'd say 10.
There's nothing wrong with it. Just come out of the closet.
You know what? I think that I was watching something where they were saying that you'd be somebody in the movie industry was like, you'd be surprised to know.
Oh, it's like 90%
How
in
many
Hollywood.
people-
Hollywood? 9.
Hollywood,
Yeah.
90%.
Easily.
90%.
So this is in
Hollywood,
you know
90%.
in the
Hip-hop?
music industry.
I'm going 40.
And in hip hop,
Is
yeah.
that what we're going for?
I was gonna say
Dead
it's gonna.
ass.
It's
I'm going
probably
40.
gonna be an astronomical like number, like
going
something
40.
that would blow your mind, like to know.
I'm going
40.
40%.
You know they said-
I'd probably go like I
I
wouldn't
think
go as
15,
high as
25.
40, but I would
I
say
think
about
15,
35,
35-ish.
30, 35ish.
I would
Yeah.
go 40.
You know they said Busta was rumored to be gay?
No
Really?
way, Busta.
Yeah.
See,
He brought his family.
See that-
That's highly rumored.
See that-
And I was like,
family
damn.
to
man.
Highly
Lowe's
rumored
Theater.
that Busta.
that's fucked
We
up.
saw him. We saw him at
You
the
know what,
Lowe's
though?
Theater in Westbury.
We did.
He got
we
a
did.
wife, though, right?
You know
Nah,
what
he
though?
was with his kid and a pile of nachos.
You know what though?
He's killing them
I know this
shits.
has
Lot
nothing to
of
do with
cheese.
music,
Lot
but
Lot of cheese.
But it was white sauce. No, I'm just kidding. But I love Busta.
John,
I'm sorry.
John Travolta has a lot of cases
I've heard stories.
about him being gay.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cases,
I've heard
and
tons.
a
All
lot
the
of
old
them,
folks be
a
saying
lot of
it.
them have been like paid off. Like apparently, like he paid him.
I hear he
a
does
lot.
that. It's just like, oh shit, you saw me.
Right.
Bam, bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam. His a couple
Like
hundred.
he'll
Shut
go.
the fuck
Over,
up.
Nobody
he'll
came
go
out?
overboard.
Like,
But he
didn't
hasn't
either.
officially come out.
He didn't either.
That's true.
Busta Rhymes, damn.
It could be
Yeah,
that sort of
Busta,
thing.
man, that's a shock. That
That's-
would be a
that's-
shock.
That'd be a shocker.
Then I
But
looked-
you know what?
That'd be
I
shocker.
looked
At
it
the
up.
same time,
I looked it up, and then he was like, it says he loves Frank Ocean. And he said, hey, nothing wrong with him. He's gay, whatever. Let him do what he wants to do. Love his music.
Hey,
I mean, that's
what
fine.
I'm saying.
That's completely
No, I
fine.
But he was
I like
really,
the movie.
he really was
I like
loving
the
it.
If Busta Rhymes is gay, then he's
Nah,
one
if
of the
he
best
is, he is.
rappers is gay.
all right.
But I really,
Whatever.
I like
ain't got a
Busta.
problem with
It's
it.
I like
Frank
Busta.
Ocean.
That's
the
not
my
gonna
longest-
change the
favorite.
music.
One of my favorite rappers, regardless of the sexuality.
Listen, if he was gay, it wouldn't change
I don't
my
think he's gay at all.
perception.
Whatever, I
Of
still
course.
love him. He's awesome.
I don't get it.
Is Frank Ocean the guy that did the leg drop?
Yes.
Okay. I
Yeah,
get him and Miguel mixed up. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Wait, was it Miguel? I think Miguel did do the leg
Was it
drop.
Miguel?
I think
All
it
right.
was.
The leg drop?
I think it was.
Leg drop from hell?
Y'all need to watch that.
Crazy.
All right, let's wrap this up, guys. All right.
Nah, let's keep going.
Let's keep digging our
Let's
hole.
wrap this up.
Let's keep digging and
Let's
digging.
wrap this up. That's all we got for you today. Feel free to send us any
Bullshit.
questions.
Bullshit.
Feel free to send us any questions to comments at 857music.com. And for our latest updates, check out 857music.com. Like us on Facebook, search 857 Hip Hop, and follow us on Twitter at 857music.
Yes, do all that.
Check
After
out.
at the end of the podcast, though. So
Fucking guy. Don't listen to him. Just check out our latest album, Masters of Ceremony,
Yeah, get on that album.
along with others. And our podcast available on iTunes, which we actually have a news
Yeah.
flash
Yeah.
add to that.
We're on iTunes and Stitcher. So if you guys subscribe to any of those, please write us a review. Let us know how you're liking the podcast so far. We definitely would appreciate it.
That's right. Write us a review on iTunes and Stitcher, CD Baby, and Amazon, and most leading digital streaming services. And finally, show your support. Remember to rate. Remember to comment. Write that review. Subscribe. And peace.
We appreciate it.
Peace.
And even if you hate, that's fine too.
Yep.
That's great.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah,
We
leave a
don't care.
comment if you got something to say that you want to hate.
Music Podcast.